Okay, Ian, since we have you here, I have a cloud question that came in on Twitter.
Okay.
The question is, what does security in the cloud really mean?
Okay, so probably the first thing to explain is the difference between security in the cloud and cloud security.
I had no idea that those were even different.
There's a slight change, and what people usually ask when they ask about cloud security is, how secure is the application I'm going to use in the cloud? Whether it be a CRM system or whether it be a business application, where's the data going to be? Who has access to it? So worry about the security of the cloud application itself, whereas security in the cloud is taking functions of securing your business, whether it be email filtering, web security, and moving those up to the internet level.
Okay, so how is utilizing the power of the cloud more beneficial for customers than the traditional methods that they're already using?
Sure. So if you look at the volume of threats we're now seeing, sophistication from attackers, the majority is coming from the internet. They're using that as a fast delivery method. So putting devices on network puts the pressure on the customer to maintain them, to try and keep them up to date. It also means you have to bring all those threats off of the internet down to your network, so they're now inside or at your network while you're dealing with them. So it makes much more sense to utilise the power of the cloud against the attacker, fight the battle where it's coming from.
Okay, so why now? Why this sudden shift? Why should customers move their security to the cloud?
Okay, so as I mentioned, the sophistication of threats, what we've seen is the attackers have really changed the dynamics over the past couple of years. They're using social media, they're using drive-bys on websites. These are very sophisticated attacks compared to what we saw before, and the volume has gone through the roof. We've seen more malware on the internet in the last 18 to 24 months than the last 18 years or so. So with that dramatic change, it's getting more and more difficult, constrained for customers to protect themselves. Add into that customers being driven by consumerization, more mobile devices, more offices. So their users are utilising an iPad, a BlackBerry, etc., and expecting to use business applications from them. So it's becoming more difficult for IT to actually secure this environment itself.
So it's really a combination of a couple of things that have led to this shift.
Yeah, it is no one distinct thing, it's an evolution we've seen. Partly it's the consumerisation and the change in business and the use of IT, and then the second is the threats coming at them. So if you compound those two together, it's just time to change. We're in the third generation now if you think of security. The first was software on a box on the network, the old method of doing things traditionally for print servers and file servers. We then sort of shifted into the appliances market, made it more manageable, but it was still on the network. Now what we're seeing is much more virtualization and customers seeing security in the cloud as a far easier form factor and far more powerful for their business to protect the user in a more threatened environment.
Okay, so does that mean that we can expect more areas of security to be moved to the cloud?
So not everything's going to go to the cloud. You're still going to need different endpoint protection or on-network protection such as firewalls, etc., that by the nature of them need to be on the network. But certainly there's going to be more drive to move what is feasible and correct to do to the cloud.
Okay, so how do we summarize all of this into 140 characters?
So security in the cloud can secure anywhere at any time with more power, accuracy and flexibility, but taking the heavy lifting away from the customer.